Hey everybody, it's Teepa, and I have with me Katie Gardner here. And what's really cool about Katie is she's an innovator, but she's also somebody who's paying attention and is aware of things. And when you're aware and you're paying attention, you're an innovator, it gives you a chance to, first of all, think outside the box and realize, well, if this isn't working, let's figure it out. So Katie, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about who you are and what you do in the world and what you've done in the world. And then we'll get into what it is why it is you're doing this innovation you're doing. But just tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, I'm Katie Gardner. I'm in Texas. I'm an activities director, and I was an art teacher, and now I work in memory care, and I wake up thinking about memory care. I go to sleep thinking about memory care. It's always on my mind. So this is something that I've really poured my heart into.
Yeah.
This profession.
Now, have you ever had family members who had dementia?
Yes, I had one grandmother that did have Alzheimer's.
Okay. And have you had some friends in your life who've had some dementia?
Yes, actually, I've had a few friends with different kinds of dementias, including vascular and early onset.
Yeah. And so now you're working in somewhere where there are a lot of people living with dementia. And I am going to bet, but I'm going to double check in, that it's a secured unit.
Yes.
Oh, what that means for those of you who may not catch the lingo, it means the doors are locked and people who live there can't leave there unless they have permission to leave there. But anybody who works there gets to leave every day. I mean, after they finish working, they can go home and leave. But for people who want to come on the unit, there may or may not be restrictions entering the unit, but for people leaving the unit, there are restrictions, and sometimes it's a coded system, so the door won't open unless there's a code done, or there's a key pass, or you have to have somebody who works there let you in or out. So sometimes it also restricts family members or friends that might be visiting, and sometimes it's just the people who live there who can't go in and out, and it varies. So,
and that being said, I've worked in about 7 years. I've worked in 3 different memory care units, memory care neighborhoods, and I've had different kinds of access at all 3, whether it was a punch code, whether it was an alarm system or doorbell system. And some of them kept the residents from accessing even the patio or the outside area, and some of them had access to the patio and outside area, or different parts of they had more access of the neighborhood in general, and different kinds of wonder systems where you had to wear some kind of technology. And I'm currently working in one where we don't have that. So so I kind of also wanted to talk about what are the positives and what are the negatives to having the different kinds of technologies available.
Yeah, because there are technologies within the system, but what we're essentially talking about is typically in many communities, they have a special center or a special location, or a special unit, a special area where people who are living with dementia and either have demonstrated a desire to be elsewhere and so have left where they were, so they've eloped or they've wandered, maybe even accidentally just got turned around and went somewhere, or that's just the policy of that particular case. When you have this certain ability state, like you have limitations in this and this and this, then you have to move on to the special care unit. So some people are on that unit, and it's not because they've demonstrated an elopement risk or a desire to leave or wandering behavior. I mean, it's not necessarily the case that that's why people are there. Or
if they want to walk and they can't.
Yeah. So if they want to get up and move and it's deemed they're not safe doing that on their own, they need supervision and monitoring for when and how they might move, get up and try to move, or even use their wheelchairs in some cases because of stairs or things that people feel uncomfortable with people being in those things and moving around. Also, in some places, access to your own room or access to your bathroom or access to common rooms, like even a dining space, is limited to certain times of day in certain situations. In other places, they're much less so, but it varies a lot. And it varies primarily based on the mindset, beliefs, and sort of structure of a unit. So Katie, tell us a little bit about, what you've run across with this that seems to, because I think the reason we believe in promoting mobility, not trying to limit it, because limiting mobility, by doing that, we actually increase the risk of fall-related injuries. I mean, we try our best. We think that we're keeping people safer, but in fact, when we limit people's mobility against their comfort, so they're not comfortable limiting their mobility, we're trying to get them to be less mobile, going places.
We want to protect them and have what they need available to be able to do what they want to do that's interesting to them. If they want to walk, or if they want to roam and wander and scavenge and collect, then I've kind of made it my goal to make, if you want to garden or pick plants, or if you want to play with dirt or sweep leaves, then I want you to be able to do that no matter if you're in a wheelchair or not. If you can't walk, but you want to, and you want to try to get up, then I want to make it so that you are able to, at least to your ability while being safe, be able to do that. If you want to, I want to try to encourage them to do as much as they can on their own with safety involved, but I want them to push the boundaries too, because they're interested in that.
So what you hear Katie saying is she's not trying to break barriers. She's not busting down doors and unlocking units and turning people loose. That would be more likely what I might try to do. And so, okay, well, what if we extended it? What if we made it so that if people went out the front door, there was something out there that would encourage them, and one of us could be present? And how
can I make it safe for them to go out the front door if they want to?
Yeah. So Katie is into, just even within a secured area, how can we make it feel less like, and we've had people who live with dementia who say, it's like I'm in prison. It's like I've been put in a prison and I haven't done anything. It's like I can't go and be where I want to be. It feels like I've done something when I haven't, as far as I know. I can't get where I want to be. I want to go home. I want to talk to my daughter. I want to get out of here. I want to go to my room. And yet what I might think is my room, where I think my home might be inaccurate. So it's a little tricky, and my abilities now aren't what they were 15 years ago, and I might or might not know that. So Katie, I want to talk about what some of the things are that you have integrated into your practice that give people a sense of control, give people an opportunity to do what they can, so we keep them doing what they can for longer. So give me some examples of why and what you're doing. You mean what it was and what you're doing, because I think that's critical for us to talk about here.
Well, for example, I have a man that wants to go out. When he gets out, he doesn't want to be out, but he wants to feel like I know that he can walk. I can walk. I know where the door is. I am a intelligent man with an intelligent life story and, amazing life history. And I have family that comes to visit me. They come through this door. Why can't I go out this door? Yeah. So several times a day, we've taken turns walking with him out the door. He just wants to walk to the parking lot, or he just wants to walk to the concierge desk, or he just wants to walk 3 feet.
He wants to be free.
He wants to be free. He doesn't want to, like you said earlier, he doesn't want to feel like a prisoner, and I don't want him to.
Yeah. And so his need is simply to be able to go through a doorway that's deemed an important doorway because he's an important person. And he doesn't want to lose status as an individual who can make the choice to walk through a doorway. That's all he's really asking for. It's not that he's going somewhere other than he wants the power to choose to go or not to go. And it turns out once you give him that power, he doesn't really need to go anywhere other than out and back.
Yeah.
And what people think sometimes is, well, but why then? Why does he? I mean, it's a waste of time. And it's like, oh, it is so not a waste of time. It is so his Declaration of Independence. I mean, and we all signed that like way back when, because we didn't want to be ruled from a country that was like way over the ocean and was making choices for us. And as human beings, when we grow up, we want to be able to live with our own decisions. And it's like, what has he done that he doesn't have the right to walk in and out of a doorway? I mean, right. He's not somebody who's hurt someone. He's not somebody who's tried to commit a crime. He's just the guy who wants to walk in and out of a doorway to prove that he can. So how much is he paying a month to do this? And so why not? I mean, I would add I think we are remiss if we don't encourage that in and out, in and out, in and out. There'll come a time in his life where going in and out that door is not what he wants to do anymore. But if that's what he wants to do right now and he finds value and purpose, why the heck would you not schedule it in with great regularity, actually?
Well, once it became routine and we'd take him with us, do you want to come clock in and out with me? Do you want to come get some water? Do you want to come get with me to the fridge when I get my lunch at break or whatever? Once we incorporated that and he kind of stopped asking, hey, do you want to come out with us? No, I'm good. I'll sit here. And he just wants to watch the door or whatever the case. But I'm a grown man. When I want to keep a cup of coffee, when I want a glass of water, when I want to use the restroom, when I want to walk the dog, when I want to sweep outside, not sleep. And then I need to be able to do that because he's still valuable.
He's still himself. And I will be myself until I am no longer on this earth. So I need you to listen to me. So as he loses language, if he wants to get up and go to the door, I should still be saying, come on, let's head on out. Looks like you're ready to go. Not trying to quiz him on why it is he wants to go through the door.
Right. What are we going to do when we get out there? I just want to know that I can. I don't need to go.
We know that already. Why would we not continue to support that? And that idea, that is one of the most important, and I will say it again, most important aspects of his care plan.
I agree. The second story I was going to tell you about is I have a woman that cannot she can stand up, but she cannot walk safely without a walker, but doesn't always take her walker with her. Or if she uses a walker, she'll drag it behind her instead of using it in front of her because she knows she needs to bring it because you tell her.
You keep harping on it. I'll drag it along.
I'll bring it.
I don't know why you need me to bring this stupid thing, but I'll bring it.
I have it with me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have it. Quit yelling at me.
So in activities, they started.
How many times did you hear people saying, sit down? Katie, I need you to sit down. Katie, hang on, sit down. Where are you going? Katie, sit down.
Which becomes annoying to the staff too. And not only to the resident, being told what to do over and over again. I feel like getting up. I need to stretch my legs,
Yes.
And so we started putting a table where she could have some things to cut. She's really good at laundry folding. She's really good at, she likes to go through things. She likes to go through an empty checkbook or, and thumb through some magazines, some cooking magazines. She likes to shop.
Mhm.
So we started putting some things that maybe she would be interested in. But I noticed that when she wants to back up against and stand up, she wants to back away from the table. She's bored with that or whatever it is, or you need to stretch your legs. She would scream because she couldn't get up off the table. So I got rid of the table. I put it to her side so that she can still reach things if she wants to go through whatever, or fold. But I also made it safe for her to stand up and change seats. So we put a wheelchair. She didn't want to be in a wheelchair because she knew she knew she could walk. She can't, but she
thinks she can. In her mind, a wheelchair is for people different than me, not me. So she's not going to use it. She's not going to want it. She's not going to make, so why do we keep forcing her to see something as hers that isn't hers? So we've just got to let that go. That's a transport chair. Possibly. That is not a mobility device for her. That is for us to help get her from place to place in a hurry if we're trying to get her from place to place. And what we'll do is we'll use that transport seat because she can collaborate with us and we can get her somewhere and then she'll stand up and do her thing.
Well, and it's also, wheelchairs are not real comfortable to sit at all day long either.
They're not safe to sit in all day long either.
So I tried to I put a line of chairs together where she can go from one wheelchair to the next, or to the next chair, to the next chair, turn to the next chair. I noticed there was a lot, and then at the end of it, we could put a glass of water. She can drink the water. And then she can go back, and then she can go. There's no more yelling. There's no more anxiety. Cool. During activities, if I put this along the side wall or the back wall, there's no more bothering the people that are doing the activity, the trivia or whatever. And so it's no longer distressing to them, and it's no longer distressing to me because she's not screaming or she's not feeling like she's tied down or anything. And she feels like she wants to stand up. It doesn't feel comfortable, so she sits back down. But she's free to move and come and go as she pleases. She doesn't want to walk all the way over there. She just wants to get up.
Shift her bottom, sit in another chair, stand up, shift your bottom, sit in another chair. Now, I'm curious, Katie, does she go to the left or go to the right first?
I don't think I've ever noticed if it's a...
Well, where's her first chair? In which direction does she tend to move?
I want to say to the right.
I'll bet it is. I'm going to bet she does. She gets out there and she sort of gets to the last chair in the row. And then she has to figure out, oh, well, actually, I want to go back over there by the table. And so
the table's got all my stuff on it.
Because the table has all my stuff. So the table is to her left. But by the time she's at the end of the row, now she notices the table at the distance. And so she's working her way back over to the table. But this is a woman, I'm just going to lay this out. You tell me if I'm right. This is a woman who's more of a loner than a joiner. She doesn't like to get in the middle of activities and probably never has. I mean, she might have led something in her life, but she wasn't like this person who joined everything going on just because she loved to be with people.
Right.
She was also a person who liked to be in control of things. I mean, so it was her way. She was the boss. She likes to be the boss of things and she likes to do things. And she thinks typically there's a right way to do them and a wrong way to do them. And her way is the right way. And other people are probably wrong if they aren't doing it.
And a brilliant business mind. And in fact, I call her my mentor.
There you go. A very, very logical and reasonable. So when she wants to do desk work, tabletop work, she's into it. When she doesn't want to do that anymore, she's ready for a break. She's a smart woman. I'm done with that. I don't want to do that anymore. But very rarely does she actively engage with the stuff that's going on in the front of the room.
Sometimes she does pay attention, and she will, when she has a good sarcastic quip, she will, in fact, I keep a journal of fun stuff that they say during activities. So yeah, she's got some supervisor. Yes, she's supervising.
A supervisor.
Yes.
So
And
what you've
very
done
witty.
is provide this remarkable space in which she maintains her mobility by going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And because she's doing that, you've reduced her risk of fall-related injury astronomically. You've also reduced her distress state and improved the length of time she can stay in a space without causing distress on her part or the part of others. So
And she has her dignity.
Yeah, this one change has changed everybody's life. So, when we talk about enhancing mobility, people tend to think about it's risk taking. And what I would say is what was happening before was very risky. And as a matter of fact, it would get to a place where she couldn't stay in the activity space because it was so annoying to other people that people were saying, well, she has to go back to her room because, honestly, we're not being able to run the groups that we need to run in here with her yelling like that. And you managed to not have that be the case. She's part of the group without having to sit in the middle of the group, and she's got stuff to do. Yeah. So I'm curious, Katie, because pretty soon we're gonna take a pause here because we've been doing some really good discussion. You're gonna give me one more sort of thing that's really important. So you're gonna give me one more in a minute, but I want to pause because what you've done, when I said you're an innovator, you do think outside the box and you think, okay, what's going to satisfy her? What does she need to be satisfied in her life? What does he need to feel satisfied? Because without satisfaction, it's not really a care plan, not a living care plan. It's just what we put down on paper. And then we're trying to fix the problem and the person rather than simply seeing who is this person and what are they asking for and why can't we do the thing they're asking for? Why not? Rather than why should I? It's why shouldn't I? And the answer is, well, there's not really a good reason I shouldn't. So this is what we should do, is we should do a better job of meeting people's needs and helping them do what they can and helping them stay as mobile as they can stay, essentially. Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching. And if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.